We are here at AirVenture Oshkosh. I'm Dan Johnson. I'm talking with Robert Bosley this morning of Aerodrome Airplanes. First, we got to start with an impressive number. We're standing in front of a handsome airplane, but how many total do you produce these days?
We do 21 different unique World War I and antique aircraft replicas.
21 airplanes. That's got to be up there somewhere in the high category of any one company producing that many models. That's very cool. And they are all these World War I replica airplanes, are they?
Well, all except for two. We have two that meet the ultralight criteria in our Dream Classic and Dream Fantasy, but the other 19 aircraft are specific to World War I.
Okay, so by that implication, then I can infer that these are experimental amateur-built airplanes, Robert, is that right?
That's correct. They are experimental amateur-built, and they all qualify in the light sport category.
Okay, so we're standing in front of one of them here. What do we got right here? Tell me just a little bit about this particular one of your 21 airplanes.
This is the Airdrome Aeroplanes full-scale Nieuport 17 replica.
The Nieuport 17.
Nieuport 17,
okay.
Yeah. It was originally designed and built for the movie Flyboys. So this is one of the actual Flyboys aircraft that's been retrofitted now with the Rotec radio.
I see. Okay, what engine did it have on it for the movie?
It originally had a Volkswagen engine in it.
Ah, okay. Was that trying to be authentic to what it was then?
Just due to the time frame, we had to.
I see. Okay.
Now that these engines are available, we retro these aircraft.
They probably would have liked this one to begin with, because this is one of those round radial engines.
This is the proper engine for the airplane. Unfortunately, at the time, we just didn't have the opportunity to get this engine in the airplane for the movies.
Movie company demands. I understand that a bit.
How many movies have your airplane's been involved in, Robert?
We've got 2 movies now in the Flyboys and Amelia. And then we've done the reality TV show Mad Scientist. Some of our aircraft have been featured in as well.
Pretty cool. I bet you that did some stuff for sales, did it?
That was fun, yeah. Yeah, we get some interesting contacts.
I'll bet. How many airplanes have you got? Not just how many do you produce, but how many are flying out there?
We have approximately 75 aircraft flying in the market.
And how many kits have you sold?
Approximately 500.
500. So you got a good many, 400 and some, in various stages of production. What does it take to build an airplane like this?
Typically about 400 to 500 man hours to complete one of the full-scale aircraft. And when you do some of our 3/4 scale aircraft, it's around the 300-hour mark on those.
300 hours. That seems pretty brief for what I'm looking at. I see quite a bit of just covering work alone, which puts some people off. Do you offer any way to hasten that for them? Do you have partial kits or anything that are? We do
builder's assist, where customers can come in our shop and we'll assist you in building the airplane. Typically in one day we can have the entire fuselage framed. On
one day, is that right?
Yeah, one day. And a second day we could have all the tail feathers built and installed on the airplane. So our kits are pretty complete. It has all welded parts, machine parts, all gusset plates are pre-cut, all the castings are machined and ready to be installed.
So what looks like an all-wood airplane is not an all-wood airplane?
There is no wood in the airplane other than something like the instrument panel or dummied up struts.
I mean, I can see, I'm looking over your shoulder here, so I see a strut that I could tell this close is not wood, but from a little bit further back, it sure looks like wood. So you're trying to recreate the image, but using modern materials to do that. Is that right?
We want all modern materials, modern safety, modern performance, engines and systems dressed to look like an old aircraft.
So the fun of yesteryear with the advantages of today.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, looking more at the engine on here, that we've got this nice round radial engine on it. Give me just a couple of the basic facts. We don't want all the stuff because we want people to go to your website and look for more, but tell me a little bit about this big old engine that we see up here.
This is the Rotec Radio R2800, which stands for 2800 cubic, or cc's in this case.
2800 cc. So that makes it a pretty big engine as engines go.
Well, yeah.
Cubic displacement.
For cubic, well, typically you're talking cubic inches. This is cc.
Ah, true, right, okay.
So therefore, it's a little bit smaller. But this typical engine will weigh about 240 pounds installed, and it'll produce 110 horsepower, which is really in the sweet spot for this type of aircraft.
Is that right? About what this particular one needs.
Correct.
Now, obviously, an engine of that size is not going to work in your 2 ultralight models.
Correct.
What do you use in the ultralight model?
Just the typical Rotaxes, 447s, 503s.
Okay.
Things like that.
And obviously, they're smaller aircraft and lighter and able to operate all right on those power sources?
That's correct.
Excellent.
You also have is it the Eindecker that will qualify as an ultralight?
We have a specific example of the Eindecker we built for the new UK laws that came out here a few years back. It's called the single seat deregulation. So we've gone in and optimized that design, thinning down a few things, non-structural things like firewalls and stuff, where we were able to get that aircraft in the ultralight category with a 4-stroke engine. So we can run 116 to 118 pound 4-stroke engine and still make ultralight criteria with it. Correct.
You know, it's pretty interesting you mentioned Britain, because every time I go to an aviation museum in the United States, I think about half of the people there must be from Britain. They show a really keen interest in the older aspects of aviation, so that must be a good market for you.
It is. We sell a lot of aircraft in the European market. World War I was in their front yard. And the 100th anniversary of World War I's coming up right now, so there's a lot of interest specifically in the European theater.
Well, that'll probably help sales a little bit more.
I hope so.
You've given us a lot of information here, Robert, but there's got to be a bunch more. With 21 airplanes, we couldn't obviously cover all of it. Where would we want to go on the website, since that's where folks are watching, to get more information about your company?
Our website is airdromeaeroplanes.com, and it's unique spelling, AIRDROME AEROPLANES.
Yeah, normally we associate Airdrome with Aerodrome, so
Correct, yeah.
kind of reverse the order there a little bit.
Correct, yeah. The Aerodrome was the old field, and then the aeroplanes is the old way of referring to airplanes.
Yes.
Airfield, old aeroplanes.
Well, I think that's pretty cool. Some really pretty airplanes that appeal to a lot of folks here. You can get more information on their website about all their products. You can get more about all kinds of light aircraft on buydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com. Thanks so much for watching today.